The whispers in Washington have erupted into a roar. As of August 10, 2025, the U.S. government is no longer just talking tough on Mexico's drug cartels, it's preparing for a conflict that could redefine the war on drugs. President Trump's administration has formally instructed the Pentagon to draft military options, moving beyond political posturing to real procedural steps toward intervention. This marks a fundamental shift. The drug crisis is now a matter of national security, not just law enforcement. Years of frustration over the fentanyl crisis have led to this moment. The U.S. has watched deadly opioids pour across the border, devastating communities. In 2024, Trump secretly signed a directive authorizing military force against transnational criminal organizations, fulfilling a campaign promise to take the fight to the source. The message: if Mexico won't dismantle the cartels, the U.S. will, permission or not. The groundwork was laid by designating major cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, unlocking new legal tools and justifying military action. This reclassification allows the U.S. to target cartel finances, restrict travel, and, crucially, use military force under existing law. The shift means drone operators and special forces could soon replace DEA agents as the main actors in this fight. The implications are global. For decades, the war on drugs was a criminal justice issue. Now the U.S. sees cartels as hostile, non-state actors threatening national security. This is a high-stakes gamble. It could cripple the cartels or ignite a wider, uncontrollable conflict with unpredictable costs. The world is watching as the U.S. prepares to cross a line that could reshape its relationship with Mexico and the region. The war on drugs has entered a dangerous new era. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The fentanyl crisis is a public health catastrophe. Fentanyl, up to 50 times more potent than heroin, is now the leading cause of death for Americans under 50. Over 70,000 die from fentanyl overdoses each year, more than the entire Vietnam War, and the true toll is likely higher. Mexican cartels, especially Sinaloa and Jalisco New Generation, have mastered its production, importing chemicals from Asia and smuggling the drug into the U.S. Counterfeit pills make the crisis deadlier, deceiving users and overwhelming first responders. The economic and social costs are staggering, draining hundreds of billions annually and fueling desperation for action. The narrative is clear: cartels are waging chemical warfare on Americans, making military action seem not just plausible, but necessary. The daily death toll has made the unthinkable, military strikes on cartel targets, an urgent demand for many. Labeling Mexican cartels as foreign terrorist organizations was the legal linchpin for military intervention. This move, enacted by Trump's executive order, puts cartels in the same category as Al-Qaeda and ISIS, allowing the U.S. to freeze assets, prosecute supporters, and use military force. Proponents argue the cartel's violence and intimidation fit the definition of terrorism, citing assassinations, public brutality, and control over territory. They see cartels as a narco-insurgency, waging a campaign of terror against both Mexico and the U.S. Critics warn this is a dangerous oversimplification. Cartels are driven by profit, not ideology, and fear it will complicate law enforcement and diplomatic cooperation. There are real risks. Civilians could be caught in the crossfire, and asylum seekers fleeing cartel violence may face new barriers. Despite objections, the fentanyl crisis fueled unstoppable political momentum for the FTO label. For many Americans, the distinction between criminal and terrorist is academic when the result is mass casualties. The designation reframes the conflict as a moral battle, justifying a more aggressive U.S. posture. This shift has built public support for military options, transforming a complex law enforcement challenge into a national security emergency. With the White House directive in place, the Pentagon is developing a playbook for a new kind of conflict. Options range from enhanced surveillance, deploying drones and spy planes over Mexico, to aggressive maritime and aerial interdiction, intercepting vessels and aircraft suspected of trafficking drugs or chemicals. The most controversial plans involve direct military strikes on Mexican soil, targeting superlabs, cartel command centers, and warehouses with drones or special forces. These would be precision attacks, aiming to decapitate leadership and destroy manufacturing capacity. While large-scale troop deployments aren't on the table, clandestine raids and airstrikes are being considered. Each option carries immense risks. Surveillance could violate Mexican sovereignty, interdiction could spark international incidents, and strikes could cause civilian casualties or trigger a wider war. The Pentagon must weigh the potential for success against the risk of catastrophic failure and regional destabilization. The stakes are unprecedented. Military action could upend decades of U.S. Mexico relations. Every move risks escalation, backlash, and unintended consequences. The U.S. is preparing for a fight that could spiral far beyond its original intent. The question: can any military option truly solve the crisis, or will it unleash chaos? The answer remains uncertain. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. Mexico's response has been swift and unified. U.S. military intervention is absolutely ruled out. For Mexicans, the idea of American boots or bombs on their soil is a violation of sovereignty and a painful echo of past interventions. President Sheinbaum insists security cooperation must be based on mutual respect, not unilateral action. Recent drops in border crossings and fentanyl seizures are cited as proof that partnership, not conflict, works. Any U.S. strike would provoke cartel retaliation, risking a spiral of violence and destabilization across Mexico. The economic fallout would be massive, threatening $850 billion in annual trade and millions of jobs. Pushing Mexico could drive it toward alliances with rivals like China or Russia, reshaping the region's geopolitics. For Mexico, the U.S. threat is not just about security, it's an existential challenge to its stability and sovereignty. The legal case for U.S. military action in Mexico hinges on the FTO designation, invoking post-9/11 powers meant for terrorist groups. But this stretches the law's intent and clashes with international norms. Unilateral strikes would likely be seen as illegal aggression. The risks are enormous. Cartels are entrenched and armed, and any attack could trigger violent reprisals against Americans and Mexicans alike. Strikes could spark turf wars, turning parts of Mexico into war zones and causing mass civilian casualties. Cartel infrastructure is embedded in communities, making collateral damage almost inevitable. Such tragedies would destroy goodwill, fuel anti-U.S. sentiment, and strengthen the cartels. On paper, the legal path exists, but the real-world risks are terrifyingly high. For Americans, this isn't just foreign policy, it's personal. The fentanyl crisis is devastating families nationwide, fueling anger and fear. Many see military action as justified self-defense, a way to stop the assault on their communities. The issue is tied to border security, with cartels blamed for both drug and human trafficking. Trump's tough stance made "Stop the Cartels" a central campaign promise, turning military action into a political litmus test. Supporting strikes is seen as being tough on crime. Opposing them risks being labeled soft on cartels. The public's grief and frustration make the prospect of military action a seductive, if risky, solution. The nation is torn between the desire for safety and the fear of a costly, endless conflict. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The standoff over military action has pushed U.S. Mexico relations to a breaking point. The two nations are deeply intertwined, economically, politically, and geographically. Unilateral U.S. action would shatter trust, spark diplomatic and economic crises, and invite retaliation from Mexico. The fallout could disrupt trade, halt security cooperation, and open the door for rivals like China and Russia to gain influence. Even without strikes, the rhetoric alone has damaged day-to-day cooperation and fueled mistrust. The relationship is on a knife's edge. Partnership has yielded results, but the threat of force risks plunging both countries into chaos. The future of North American stability depends on whether both sides can step back from the brink. North America stands at a crossroads. Military intervention promises a swift, decisive blow against the cartels, but risks igniting a brutal, destabilizing conflict. War would be messy, asymmetric, and could last for years, killing civilians, creating refugees, and shattering a vital partnership. The alternative is deeper cooperation, intelligence sharing, targeting cartel finances, and investing in public health solutions. This path is slower and politically harder, but addresses root causes and respects sovereignty. The real question: can the fentanyl crisis be solved with force, or will that only make things worse? The choice will define the future of U.S. Mexico relations and the security of the continent. Is a quick, violent solution worth the risk of endless war? The answer hangs in the balance. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia.